Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of MagicReview.com. Today we have Capsoul by Deepak Mishra. Sorry, I'm totally butchering that name. Basically, I gave it 4.5 stars, stone status of gem. I believe it's $35, and you basically get two different gimmicks, or two different ways you can gimmick your hat. It says gimmicks included, I think, but you really aren't. You're not really getting gimmicks. You're getting just the extra cards that you need, basically, which I think is a nice touch, rather than having to go out and buy a bunch of different, extra cards. So, but basically, you can gimmick your hat in one of two ways. I've got a hat here. I did not set the gimmick up because there's a really simple, common, everyday household thing that you need to make the gimmick. And I have some that I keep in my drawer right here. And my kids took it, and I can't find it anywhere. And they conveniently forgot, what they did with it. So, anyway, this is a beat-up old hat. It was my hat from the submarine I was on, the Santa Fe, USS Santa Fe. And those are my dolphin pins there that I earned for being on submarines and qualifying for that. Anyway, I gave this to my dad years ago, and then when he passed away, I got it back. So there's two ways you can gimmick the hat. Either one, to where you can wear it backwards and the card will appear right here, whoosh, like so, like this, okay? Or, this hat's not quite adjusted for my head, or you wear the hat sideways, sorry, it looks like a doofus like this. And there's a card here. And then, a flick of the hat and it changes to, a different card, a 9 of spades or whatever. So that's the basic idea. So you can set your hat to do either one of those, but not both. Okay. You can either cause it to appear in the window with the hat on backwards, or you can cause it to switch where it's on sideways. But you cannot have your hat set up to do both. The gimmick for making it appear in the window is super simple to do, and it's the one that I was going to make, and I was actually going to demo it for you, but I can't find that little thing I told you I needed. And it's not a hard thing you probably have this in your house, and most normal guys in the world, American men, have this in their house, but not this guy, because my kids took it. Anyway, I love my kids. They just take my stuff. So I didn't make it for you, but I'll tell you this, that gimmick takes 3 seconds to make it, and it's extremely much more versatile than the other one. Because with that gimmick, you can, spring the cards in the air, and you can catch a card in the air and put your hat on. You've caught the selected card. Or you can throw a card up into your hat and you catch it there. Or you can throw a 2 of clubs and throw it and you catch it and it's now a 7 of hearts or whatever. Or you can just have a card selected and it disappears from the deck, and then a flick of the hat and it reappears in the little window of your hat. So, and the hat can be worn all day, just normal with the bill in the front. And then when you're ready to do the trick, just turn it around backwards and do the trick and you're good. And then you reach in and you pull the card out and you give it to them. It's apparently what you do. I won't tell you exactly what you do, but then for all intents and purposes, the hat appears empty and everything, and so they can't examine it, but there's nothing to see really. You just took the card out and handed it to them, you put your hat back on. It's not like they're going to just snatch the hat from you. Now with the other version where the card switches, that one's a little more finicky. It still does work, but it's just a little more finicky, and you have to wear the hat sideways. You can't do it with it backwards. It's not as versatile. It's not as you can only basically do that one trick where the card changes. You could do a 2-card transpo where you got a 7 here and they're holding a queen, and then all of a sudden the queen's here and they're holding the 7. You could do stuff like that, but that's basically all you can do with it. So you got 2 choices. You can either gimmick your hat to switch a card visually, or to just have one appear. The one for switching the card, there's a lot more involved in making the gimmick, and it's a little bit more finicky, but it's not, it's certainly doable. The method I would prefer, if I was a hat kind of guy, would be the one with where the card just can appear in the window. So that's it. There's not a whole lot to it. It's very simple, very easy to put together, and you know, what's cool about it is you can just wear your hat all day, and then you either do the trick or don't do the trick. But if you get that moment where it's right, and you're, you know, out on the streets or whatever, and you wear a hat when you perform, or wherever you're at somebody's house and you're wearing a hat. You know, typically you're not necessarily wearing a hat at a corporate venue or something like that, or even a restaurant, but out on the street, at a friend's house, hanging out with friends, have that thing ready to go, and it can just sit there and be there, and then anytime you want, bam, you can make a card appear. You know, you might even, this isn't in the DVD, but it's something that I might do if I were wearing the gimmick. Let's say my card is the Queen of Hearts. I wouldn't even have a deck on me. It would just be hanging out with friends and talking, and just talk about playing cards or something, and then say, you know, does anybody, you know, do you have a favorite playing card? You pick a woman hoping she'll say Queen of Hearts, and if she says, oh, Queen of Hearts, I said, really? What? Jigsaw's out. Boom, and then bam, the card appears. But if she says some other card, you just talk about it, and it's not a trick. She doesn't know you're going to do a trick. So that might be how I would use it if I were to do it. And if you're going to buy the DVD, there you go. There's an idea of what you can do with it. Yeah, you're welcome. Anyway, so this is my 10th video I've recorded today, so I'm a little bit loopy, and I don't have much else to say about the product. I mean, it's solid. I can't even remember what rating I gave it, so I'm going to look again at my notes. I probably already told you at the beginning, but I gave it, 4.5 stars. I knew it was 4 or 4.5. So you basically get 3 effects for $35, and they can be done with the hat, or one or the other of the hats. Now, you know, have 2 different hats gimmicked up one way or the other, and then just decide which one you're going to wear that day. If you're in the mood for making a card appear, wear that one. If you're in the mood for doing the card switch, because maybe you're going to do more of a show, then do that one. Anyway, that's it for this review. Let's take a look at the random iTunes song of the moment, and we've got Iron Maiden, Sun and Steel. This is off the Peace of Mind album. And anyway, that's Sun and Steel, Iron Maiden. That's the last video I'm shooting today. Whew, I got 10. I'm going to schedule them all out over the next several days. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all on the next review video. Peace and out.